Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome. I'm so happy to have you here with me. My name's Courtney and I'm a stay-at-home mom of 2. Today's video is going to bring lots and lots of cleaning motivation for you. We're going to reset my home and just get everything in order again because the week was crazy. So if you have any tidying up to do, get your to-do list ready and let's get cleaning together. This week, everything was crazy. We had so much running around to do. It's actually my birthday today, so we had dinner with some family. We had all kinds of things we had planned to do, and in between that, I had the house to get cleaned. So I made this big to-do list, and I had big hopes of getting this humongous reset done to my home, but I ended up getting an injury early on in the week. If you haven't noticed from the beginning of the video, we're in the middle of a renovation and our home is just a disaster. There's stuff everywhere. We've been living out of boxes for the past couple of months. Now, I don't remember exactly what I was looking for, but I went down to the basement and I was looking through a box trying to find something, and the next thing I know, there is a leaf blower coming at me. Full force from above. It fell off the shelf. I must have bumped it, is all I can think. And it came crashing down and smashed my pinky toe. So I'm in a lot of pain right now. And you might see me limping throughout the video. If you do, that's why. Normally I'm kind of clumsy, so I break toes kind of often because I'm always running into things. But this was one of those freak accidents that kind of happened, and I was not planning on this one. Sometimes we make plans, but life has other ideas in mind for us. Regardless of my injury, the housework was not going anywhere, unfortunately, and still had to get done. So I decided to start in the kitchen today, and what I like to do is when I wake up, I always unload the dishwasher, put everything away, and then reload it because there's always a few dishes that accumulate overnight. Somebody will have a late night snack after I load the dishwasher, or somebody will have coffee in the morning or cereal. So those dishes get rinsed and put in the dishwasher. Now, this crock pot, I love my crock pot. It's a Pioneer Woman one, and as much as I love it, I have been kind of tempted lately to get one of the beautiful ones by Drew Barrymore. There's nothing wrong with mine, but I did see a few recalls of the Pioneer Woman ones. Now, I don't want to say anything bad about them, but I saw a few recalls where they actually caught fire. So I don't know if you guys have heard about this or not. Mine is a fairly new one, so if there were any recalls, hopefully they got the kinks worked out and mine will not catch on fire. But after hearing that, it kind of makes me a little bit nervous to leave the house with it on. So let me know if you heard about that recall or if that's just a myth, and I'm hoping that it is because I don't necessarily want to go out and buy a new slow cooker if I don't have to. But the Drew Barrymore one is really tempting. It is a very pretty slow cooker, and I never thought that I would say that about a slow cooker, that, oh, it's pretty. But it's actually one that I wouldn't mind leaving out on my counter. It just looks really stylish, and they come in different colors, and they're just really cute. So now I'm going around. You're going to see all these tools in the background, guys. This is something that I am just kind of living with right now. There's not really anything I can do about the tool situation as we're still building the kitchen. My husband needs these tools on a daily basis, so there's no point in putting them away or taking them up to the garage. We just leave them neatly in the cupboards, and then he knows where to find everything whenever he decides he has a few minutes or hours to work on the kitchen some more. So I want to take a second and introduce our pups to you guys. You're going to see them throughout all my videos. Luna is on the left and Roxy is our pup on the right. Luna is 5 years old. Roxy just turned 1 in January. And she is a rescue. So we actually got her from this amazing rescue in Southwest Pennsylvania where I live. It's called Abby's Angels Animal Haven. They are an amazing nonprofit rescue. They'll take in humane cases or cases where someone can't keep their dog for some reason and they get nothing in return. They're 100% there for the animals, and I just love this rescue so much. So as you can see, I've moved on to the living room right now. It didn't need a whole bunch done in here, but the couches really needed swept. I just like to get the dog hair off of there, and then it kind of keeps the couches nice and tidy in between washing the slip covers. So I have a big pile of laundry, as you can see, waiting for me on my coffee table. I'm going to get to that in just a couple of minutes. Normally I do the laundry standing up in my bedroom. I kind of lay everything out on my bed because I have more space and it's just easier to sort through everybody's laundry that way. But with my toe and part of the top of my foot being broken, it's just hurting me a lot to stand right now. So I'm fighting through this video. As you can see, I was kind of hopping around in the living room as I walked in there, trying to climb over everything and put away the dog toys. It's just really hurting me, and I don't mean to complain. It's just a toe. I know everybody's probably like, what are you complaining about? You know, it's not even a big thing. There are bigger problems in the world, and I completely understand that. Actually, I do have a lot of health problems, which I was going to get into in my next video, but I might as well tell you guys now. I actually have a lot of things going on with me medically. I have stage 4 cancer, which I'll get into a little bit later and kind of tell you guys what's going on with me and how my health is doing currently. I also have PCOS. Even though they did a total hysterectomy on me, I still suffer, unfortunately, from the side effects of the PCOS, which kind of stinks because you would think, you know, you wouldn't have that anymore if they did a surgery to get rid of everything. But they found early cancer, so they decided to do a complete hysterectomy. I also have diabetes and just a couple of other things going on with me that make my body extremely insulin resistant. And it makes it hard for me to lose weight. It makes it very easy for me to gain weight. And that is why on my channel, a little bit later into it, you're going to see me beginning my health and wellness journey. This is something that I've been promising myself for forever that I was going to do. I have been doing really good lately, just watching my sugar. I've actually lost 55 pounds over the past year and a half by just really cutting down sugar, really watching what I eat, eating a lot of proteins, and I do have carbs. I'm not going to say that I don't have carbs because I absolutely enjoy carbs. I like breads, I like pastas, I like all the good stuff. But I do have to be careful how much I take in because of my body being insulin resistant and the kind of cancer that I have. It just makes it really hard for me to lose weight. So a lot of people might be looking at me thinking, what is she talking about going on a health and wellness journey? She does not look like she's on one. That is why it's called a journey. I'm, still working on myself. I think most of us probably are. And, I will get there. Hopefully, I can get to where I want to be. I would love to lose another 15 to 20 pounds, but honestly, I'm doing this more so to feel better and to be healthy because, like I mentioned, I have the stage 4 cancer. And it is all through my lungs, both sides, upper and lower lobes. But it's not lung cancer, it's actually thyroid cancer. And it's a really rare, not a rare type of thyroid cancer, but my condition is really rare. I have a gene mutation that's called NTRK1 fusion. I know, sounds kind of crazy, sounds like a mouthful, but basically there is a gene in your body called the TRK gene, and that gene fused with some other gene in my body and caused the cancer to form. And then once it formed, it made it spread through my body like wildfire. So when I was diagnosed back in 2020, I was already stage 4. It was already into my lymph nodes, my lungs, and it's in my bloodstream. I keep praying that God's just going to take it away someday, and I fully believe that He can. So if you are the praying type, I would greatly appreciate any and all the prayers you would want to send my way. And of course, in return, if there's anything that you need prayer for, you can absolutely leave a prayer request in the comments. My family and I would be so happy to pray for you and just see what God can do in your life. If you want to keep it private, you can just say, hey, I have an unspoken request, and we'll pray for that as well. God knows every need, and I'll make sure that I pray for you. So now it's time to tackle the main floor bathroom. This bathroom is absolutely tiny. I think the bathroom itself, I think it is only maybe 5 by 7 feet, maybe 5 by 8 on a good day. So it was really tricky for me to film this because I had to really be creative, getting my tripod in here and trying to get all these different angles because it is just so small and so tight and compact. But I showed you guys the Comet spray cleaner. It's the Comet bathroom cleaner. This stuff I have been using, oh my gosh, since I was a teenager through my 20s living at home. And it works so good on soap scum. It just melts it right off of your tub, right off of the sink, whatever it may be. It disinfects. It gets rid of, I think, 99.9% of germs as well. So this is by far my favorite bathroom cleaner ever. Now the brush that I'm using, I just got that from Amazon. I want to say it was around $30. It was super inexpensive, but it saves my back so much because I'm always struggling with a sore back, sore shoulders, and this handle extends. You can make it longer or shorter depending on what you're cleaning. Some people like to use this on their kitchen sink, bathroom sink, whatever, but I tend to use this the most in my bathtubs because, like I said, it really helps my back out. And it comes with, I think there's 5 or 6 different attachments that you can use for the scrubbing head so it can get into all those corners and parts of your bathroom or any room in your house, honestly, that is really hard to reach. So I got that from Amazon. If you guys are interested in finding the same one or if they are out of it, something similar, just comment bathroom brush and I can link it for you in the comment section. Okay, so now for probably the biggest decluttering project of the day. I'm in my son's room, and I just want to say, first of all, he absolutely helps me clean, but I told him to leave all of this stuff behind because I was doing laundry anyway that day, and I really needed to pull off his bedding and get everything freshened up as we've been passing around the stomach flu around here, and there's so much stuff going around at school between my husband being a teacher and both of my kiddos up at the high school. They bring anything and everything home, and I do not want to keep passing anything around. I'm ready for spring. I'm ready for the weather to be nicer and for all of us to get feeling better here. So I told him to leave it, and you'll see him actually, he does make an appearance later in the video. When he gets home from school, he helps me put his bed back together, and it's actually so funny because we were fighting with his mattress topper. You'll see later in the video, but it's kind of comical. So basically, I'm just starting here in his bedroom. He is all about his cologne. This boy, I have never met a teenage boy. Well, he's not a teenager yet. I lied. He's 12. He'll be 13 in April. But he is all about personal hygiene. He is very insistent upon smelling good and buying a very expensive cologne. I do want to be clear, it's a little pricey. I would never personally buy it for myself. I would not spend that much on myself for cologne. But he works really hard. During the summer, he mows grass for some of the neighbors and makes money that way. He also snow blows in the winter time for some neighbors, and he'll make some cash doing that. And then between birthdays, Christmas, Easter, and all the holidays in between, he saves up his money just for this specific cologne. So I don't know if you can see it or not, but his favorite one is the gold one in the back. It looks like a male torso. It's kind of weird, but it's the Jean Paul Gaultier perfume. Not perfume cologne. Oh my gosh, he'd be so embarrassed if he heard me say perfume. It is the Jean Paul Gaultier cologne, and the gold one that is his signature scent is, I think it's called Elixir. We get it from Boscov's, but honestly, they sell it everywhere. You just have to be careful because one of my family members tried to get a better deal at Walmart, and they kind of got like a 2 for $40 deal, and they're like, oh man, Gavin, you got duped. You spent so much money on this cologne, and I found it for $40 and I got 2 bottles. But let me tell you, not all cologne is created equal. It did not smell nearly the same. It didn't last as long. It was not as strong. And so our family member was very disappointed with that. And they're like, I guess it is worth the money. I mean, it just smells amazing. He likes to try out all the different scents. Once in a while, we'll go to Boscov's, and he's just like going around the counter, sniffing all the colognes he can. I know it sounds ridiculous, but we bring a coffee pod because they used to carry coffee beans in Boscov's. If you're not familiar with it, you kind of sniff the coffee beans in between smelling different perfumes or colognes, and it kind of freshens your palate so that not all the cologne smells the same, and then you can't tell what's what. So after COVID, they said they got rid of the coffee beans, and the last time my son bought a new bottle of this cologne, he's like, Mom, don't forget to bring the coffee. So we grabbed a couple coffee pods and went to Boscov's, and the ladies were just cracking up. They thought it was hilarious that we brought our own coffee. But I gotta be honest with you, it really does work. I don't know what it is about the coffee beans, but if you are in the market for some new perfume or some cologne, I highly recommend, especially for the men, the Jean Paul Gaultier colognes. All of them smell amazing. The gold one, like I said, is my son's signature one. It's his favorite by far that he wears. Everybody, friends, neighbors, bus drivers, everyone just thinks he smells amazing, which he does. It is a very good cologne. But like I said, it is a little pricey. The bottle that he gets is the big bottle. I think it's 4.2 ounces, something like that. And it's just under $200. And like I said, I would never spend that on myself or my son. As much as I love him, I wouldn't spend that on a cologne for a 12-year-old. But he works hard, and he saves his money just for that purpose, and also for Domino's. He loves to buy himself some pizza. So he works very hard for that. So real quick, I just want to talk about my son's dresser here. This dresser is extremely old. We're actually going to be getting rid of it because he doesn't store all that much in it, at least nothing that he needs to have in his bedroom. So we're just replacing it with kind of a cheaper plastic one that's going to go in his closet eventually. That's going to be on another video, so stay tuned. But that chip on the side that you guys saw, that was scratched off from when he was a kiddo. I kind of refinished it because originally it was black, and I spray painted it, try to make it like a modern gray for him, and it lasted maybe a couple of weeks, and then a friend and him kind of got to it and scratched the paint off. So I just left it alone. I figured, it wasn't worth trying to fix at the time. So here comes the comical part of the video that I was talking about earlier. First, we were trying to figure out which way to put the sheet on the bed because it just looked square. It didn't look rectangle. And then every time my son was trying to get the back corner on, the foam cover on his bed would just curl up and like wrap around him, and we were just dying laughing. We were having a blast with this, but I was so grateful to have his help because my back was hurting that day, and like I said, my toe and part of my foot is broken, so I could not get back in that corner, and I was just grateful that he decided to help out. All right, now that the main floor is reset and ready to go for the weekend, I feel so much better. Everything in the house just feels so much lighter. And I hope that today you were motivated and encouraged. Make sure to subscribe to my channel for more cleaning motivation and health and wellness tips. And I hope you guys have an amazing weekend, and we'll see you next week. Bye.